Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you again for tuning in today. Today's video is a little sit down moment, just reflecting on boundaries. It's something that I'm trying to learn lessons from, and I hope that this video resonates with you guys as well. With setting personal boundaries, there are 3 important reasons why setting boundaries is important. The first reason is to not let people walk all over you. And what I mean by that is not letting people take advantage of the limits and rules that you set upon yourself. With boundaries, it definitely requires assertiveness of like your wants and needs and your values. Another reason for setting boundaries is to avoid burnout, and specifically that is talking about work obligations or school obligations, or not even obligations, but just things that are added to your plate when you've already have enough on your plate. So setting boundaries in work and in school is important so you don't face burnout. The last reason why it's important because you want to learn how to maintain healthy relationships. Without boundaries, people can walk all over you. And I don't think that's a good feeling for anybody, to feel like you haven't been heard or to feel like no one's listening to you. So it is important to maintain healthy relationships with family, friends, your partner, your colleague, is by setting boundaries. It's by giving yourself the opportunity to say yes when you want to do something and say no, and not feeling bad when you do say. That is something that I'm currently struggling with right now, is learning how to set boundaries with people and feel okay with setting those boundaries. And oftentimes when we do set those boundaries with people who've been, I guess, going around your boundaries or testing your boundaries, and you do set those boundaries, it can kind of feel like you're disappointing them in a way. And that is not a good feeling, to feel like you disappoint somebody because you're setting your own boundaries. Maintaining those healthy relationships is good on your personal mental health, and also it sets a clear, I guess, foundation for those relationships, the things that you will do and the things that you won't do. In learning how to set boundaries, I have 5 different tips to help you all set boundaries with different relationships. The first way to set a boundary is to, I guess, get a feeling. Like, for example, if you kind of have this gut feeling that you don't like a certain thing that this person does, feel it. Feel how that feels to be like, yes. And if it feels good, then do it. Feel how that feels to say no. So basically what tip number 1 is, feel how you feel. Feel your emotions that arise, whether they be good or bad in a situation. And if they are bad, then be like, okay, this is my boundary. This doesn't make me feel good, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm setting that boundary with myself and with that other person. And if they feel some type of way or they get upset with you, that isn't really on you, it's on the other person. Because at the end of the day, it seems like they might not be so entwined with their feelings that they don't even know how to set boundaries. So sometimes people can get upset with you. Sometimes people can, I guess, feel jealous that you are setting those boundaries. Also, another way of setting boundaries is to have open communication. Sometimes when we're talking to somebody or we're on the phone, sometimes we feel a certain type of way, but we're not communicating that openly with the other person because, for one, we might not want to hurt their feelings. For 2, we just don't want to cause any confrontation or any argument, so we choose not to express our feelings and express our boundaries. But at the end of the day, that's kind of hindering our mental health, and we're leaving that situation kind of feeling unfulfilled, or kind of feeling like crap, honestly, when your boundaries aren't being respected, or when they aren't being communicated in the way that you would like them to be. So although it is hard and is easier said than done, open communication, whether the person takes it good or bad, it benefits you and your mental health, and that is what is important. And if they don't listen, then that's on them, and you shouldn't keep trying to give them, I guess you can't keep trying to give yourself when they're not respecting you. So it's better to communicate and have open communication. Don't be afraid to say no. I feel like this also has something to do with peer pressure, like especially when you're younger, like when you're a teenager, you know, and even like young adults, sometimes we get peer pressured into doing things that we don't want to do. And that, it makes us feel crappy inside because we said yes to something that we didn't want to do. But with setting boundaries, we need to learn how to say no. And if it's difficult for you to say no in big situations, maybe start small. That gives you more of a feeling of confidence that you can say no, and you can alter these not tasks, but you can alter the conversation into, I guess, fitting more into your boundary. You need to learn how to be direct with setting your boundaries. And this can be hard, especially if you're an introvert, or especially if, you know, it's someone that's like more higher up. It is hard to be direct and say your feelings and emotions, but the more you do it in the smaller ways, the more easier it gets in the bigger ways. The last tip that I will give you guys today is working on your self-care and your self-esteem. I feel like that has a big part in setting boundaries. When you don't feel good about yourself, it is easier for you to say yes to things that you don't want to do. And that is a challenge within itself. So that's why you have to work inward. And you have to see where you feel more vulnerable or feel like you can't say no to. Just being more self-assertive, prioritizing yourself rather than prioritizing other people's feelings over yours. Because at the end of the day, we are the only person who wakes up with another. It's you. You look at yourself in the mirror and that's all you have. So it's important to put yourself first and set those boundaries. That is it for this video. I know that it was quick, short, and sweet, and to the point. Hope you guys like videos like this as well, and let me know in the comments down below how you guys set boundaries, or what are some personal tips that you guys have to set boundaries with other people. Affirmations. So the first affirmations is, I am able to set my boundaries freely. The second affirmations is, when I say yes, I mean it. When I say no, I mean it. And the third affirmations is, I am always respecting my boundaries. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Have a wonderful day or night. I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Where'd you go? Now you know how I've been living without you. Daydreaming on a cloud with you.